There's something in my wine cellar, and I think it wants me. I can hear it calling my name. Aaron. Aaron. It hissed. The sound was coming through my walls and under my feet, through the cracks of my floor. I thought I was going insane when I heard it, a sentient being calling my name over and over. I started to smell what smelled like burning rubber. It made me feel sick. When the scent hit my nose after 10 minutes of hearing the being call my name, a sickening smell of burning rubber, I couldn't take it anymore. I decided to walk down to my wine cellar and confront my demons. When I pulled my hand on the cellar door knob, it felt cold. I opened the door, noticing a light fixture bobbing back and forth. I took 2 steps into the dusty old cellar and noticed a broken bottle of wine sitting by the wine barrels. I walked over to the bottle, knelt down, and saw something under the shards of glass. It was blood. The blood was thick and sticky, like molasses. When I touched the blood, it burnt like acid in between my fingers. I got up, shouted, "Fuck!" as loud as I could. That's when I heard it. Behind me. A slight gurgling. It sounded like it was 2 inches away from my ear. I froze. Slowly looked behind me. It was horrible looking. It looked like a deformed fetus, with arms and legs protruding from its sides, sticking out in different directions. Its chest was caved in and bruised badly. The smell of burning rubber came back to me. It hit my nose hard. The creature looked at me intently. A couple of the limbs grabbed both of my shoulders and pinned me down to the cold cellar floor. Some kind of cold, dark blue hand was coming out of the creature's badly bruised chest, and the blue fingers touched where my heart is. It spoke with a low, deep voice, and it said to me, "I am fear." Its face moved close to mine. There were cuts, bruises, zits all over its face, in all different shapes and sizes, protruding everywhere. I noticed that the creature's feet were wobbling. I took advantage of this and kicked its feet. The creature stumbled and fell to my side. I ran to the cellar stairs as quickly as I could and ran up the stairs, forgetting to shut the door. I didn't care. I just wanted to get the hell out of there. I ran to my car and quickly jumped in, but then I heard it. A screech came from the cellar. It sounded like a bunch of babies being crushed under a steamroller. I noticed the creature exiting the cellar. It stood on 4 limbs now, but the limbs bent backwards, like a bird. It took about 5 steps forward and stopped. The thing looked at me with anger in its eyes. It spoke to me as if it was next to me. I could hear it perfectly. "You have made a mistake. And now you are going to pay." I saw someone emerging from my house. It was a woman. It was my dead wife. At this point, I was crying, trying not to look at her. She looked like she was pregnant, and blood was gushing out of her belly button. Memories started flooding back into my mind. My wife was walking home from work, 7 months pregnant. She was attacked by something, whatever it was, and tried to abort her baby by slicing her stomach. She died from blood loss. I was sent there. At the time, I was working a second shift at my job, and I got a call. It was the worst day of my life, and I'll never forget it. Reality came back from my daydream. My wife was now standing by my car door, blood now dripping down to her crotch. She looked at me and smiled. "Don't you see, Aaron? This was a mistake." She was now pointing at her stomach, and with her other hand held a knife that was covered in blood. She took the knife and jabbed it into her stomach, and now laughing at me. I was now crying harder than I ever had in my life. Living with you was a nightmare, and I was terribly depressed. That's why I got rid of the baby. After she said that, she took the knife and drove it across her throat, with blood squirting out of her neck and splattering onto the window. She disappeared after that. I was so scared. I passed out. I woke up in my bed. Oh, thank God, it was just a dream. I groggily got out of my bed and stumbled down to my kitchen to get a cup of coffee. My head was pounding, so I took some ibuprofen for my head, sat down on my couch, and turned on a TV and just relaxed. I was in the middle of a movie when I heard something in my wine cellar. It sounded like something was calling my name. So I got up from my couch, walked around to the back of my house, walked up to the cellar door. I was hesitant on opening it. When I opened it, I froze. The expression of fear on my face. It was my wife, standing at the foot of my steps. I don't know why, but I was sort of inclined to walk down to her, also getting a false perception from staring at her. I slowly walked down the steps, finally standing 3 inches away from her face now. She wrapped her arms around me and whispered in my ear, "I told you I was sick of you, and now you will suffer with me forever in the deepest part of hell, and you will never get out." With that being said, she drove a knife into my back. My body started to go stiff, and I hit the floor, and my cellar started to open, and blood sprayed everywhere. The creature came out of a hole that was in the floor. It slung what looked like 2 big tongues wrapped around my now disfigured wife. The creature looked at both of us and said, "Come and join the fun. Down here, anything can happen." And we were both pulled into a river of blood and chopped up dead baby body parts. I'm now in hell and can hear my name being called from every direction.